And welcome to Talk of the Town. My name is Rich Reynolds. Thanks for joining us here. And a lot of ground to cover on the show today. And we start with a really fun event in Madison. I love that Madison has so many fun events. This one right up there at the top as we're talking about the Charity Jamboree. It's Steve and Teresa are joining us here.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, first of all, for people that haven't attended before and might not know about it, the Charity Jamboree, what is it? What are you accomplishing with it?
Well, Charity Jamboree is Saturday, March 5th, and it is a big old one-day festival, over 25 acts of music, and all of the money that we raise goes to cancer, MS, and diabetes research.
Yeah, very cool that 100% of the proceeds go to that.
100%.
I mean, that is great. You know, I know people can get tickets, they can get VIP tickets, but if they can't get tickets, how can they help?
Well, you absolutely can go onto charityjamboree.com and you can just make a donation. You can do things in forms of donating items that we can use at a silent auction. Okay. Every little bit helps. For the VIP, we have some gift bags that we stuff, so little gift certificates that you can give from your business, food donations. Literally every little bit helps.
Very cool. Now, how about sponsorship opportunities? If you want to get involved that way and be a sponsor, what kind of sponsorship packages?
Oh, you talk a little bit
Yeah,
about
there
that.
still is some of that. The sponsors range from actually $1,000 up to we even have a $10,000 level, and from that they'll actually get some advertising day of show. They'll get some advertising on the stages. They'll be part of the VIP that she was just talking about. So they'll be offered some tickets, things like that. The idea is that all the funds we raise are going to our three worthy charities of UW Carbone Cancer Center, the American Diabetes Association, and the Wisconsin chapter of the MS Society.
Very cool. Now, it's been around for a little while now, the Charity Jamboree. How has it grown to what it is today, to, you know, where you're at the high noon, the break, all of that kind of stuff, and have 1,000 people, and all these different bands? How has it grown so big?
Well, it actually started in 2009. My wife has multiple sclerosis, so we started as Music and Beat MS. And then when we got together with the People Brothers Band, that's when it really exploded into the thing that it is today. We have larger venues with the Brink Stages, the High Noon Saloon, and the Brass Ring. And then also, because of the People Brothers and their connection to music, we were able to bring in many, many more bands to the point where we're probably over 27 musical acts that are going to happen on 4 stages all at the same time.
Okay, now you definitely have that natural connection then to the MS, society. How did you choose the other two as far as the charities go?
Cancer and diabetes are something that affect a lot of the people in our band very greatly and very close to our lives. Both of my parents actually have diabetes, and I've lost some very important people in my life in the last couple of years to cancer. So I think those are just 3 causes that we kind of felt like.
Yeah, the important thing is that with cancer, diabetes, and MS, pretty much everybody knows someone or is affected themselves by those 3 terrible diseases. And so we're here to help support research and information to hopefully someday eliminate those.
Now, is Charity Jamboree just like a once a year kind of a thing, or can you hold like fundraisers throughout the year?
At the moment, it is just the one day a year that we do, but anytime, and we're starting to introduce raising money earlier in the year, so any fundraising efforts that we can do, we always will. We have a donation bucket up in the Up North bar that people can just drop off some money, and so all year long, fundraising efforts are definitely welcome.
Very nice, and it seems like such a great event. For each of you then, what would be like your favorite part of it?
I think for me, it's definitely music can affect the world in a way that nothing else can. It's a universal language, and that is one day of love and music and passion to show the world that we can make a difference, and this is the way that I know how, is what's inside of me, and that's the music.
Absolutely. Steve, how about for you?
Yeah, and I think the connection to live music is there. Madison area is so blessed with so many wonderful music acts of all genres. And so that's kind of how it started with me, is that we've done a lot of fundraising for the Multiple Sclerosis Society, but with my passion for music, particularly sitting in the audience and listening, we thought it would be a good idea to start it. And then, of course, with the help of the People Brothers Band, it's just it's fantastic. It's just,
Great causes, great venue, great music, all of that stuff, all with the Charity Jamboree. Please be a part of it and find all the information online as well. Steve and Teresa, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for
We'll be
having
back
us.
with more here on Talk of the Town on CW 57. And welcome back. I am literally bouncing with anticipation. Well, maybe not literally, maybe it's more figuratively, as we are going to be bouncing on trampolines, or at least talking about that right now as we bring in Aaron Bakken, the co-owner of Rock and Jump. Welcome on in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. You know, there's so many things to do in Madison. I think that's what makes Madison so cool and such a
Agreed.
great city to be in. What makes Rock and Jump like a good destination then for Madison families to say, hey, let's go there?
I think that's the key thing that is what makes this difference, is that this is a facility that both the parents and the kids can play together. There's a lot of venues for kids' activities, indoor and outdoor, but oftentimes it's parents dropping off their kids and the kids get to play. Or obviously Madison has lots of great restaurants and bars, but not necessarily places you take your kids. Rock and Jump is definitely an equal opportunity facility. It doesn't really matter how old you are. If you're 2 to 92, we've got a jump program that will cater to all those different age groups and can oftentimes be jumping together.
I know my daughter had, one of her friends had a birthday party there, and so she went, absolutely loved it. I think it's her favorite place on earth. Talk a little bit about, you know, birthday packages and what that entails for you.
So birthday parties start at $190 for 10 kids, and they can go up from there depending upon the day of the week and the number of kids you want to have in your party. But a party basically is designed to make it as easy as possible for a parent. We assign a personal party host to every party. Their job is to get you checked in. They'll even do like a fun little calisthenics warm-up before they send the kids out to play. It's an hour of jump time and then 45 minutes in a private party room. And that party host's job is to help you set up the room if you'd like. They can do private games and lanes in the park. They'll serve food. They'll clean up the room. As a parent, your job is to show up, get the friends and their parents to show up if they want to be present, and just lay back and enjoy yourselves. No mess at your house, but it is definitely something that I find is a lot better than some of the other birthday party experiences I've had with my kids in town, because again, it's something where all the parents can be involved and there's a place for everyone to be.
As a parent, that sounds great. As a parent who has kids,
No mess.
not to have to worry about it. Yeah, just show up, you know, and let the kids go. You know, as a parent too, we kind of worry about our kids, making sure that they're safe. So it seems like in a trampoline park, there could be lots of flying bodies moving around. How do you make sure that you manage safe play at the park?
That's true. I mean, our facility is like any other play venue, be it a soccer field or an ice rink. I mean, you have to obviously play within your means as both an adult and a child, but with that, of course, we have a certain obligation to make sure that we're monitoring safe play. Our jump patrol, they're basically like lifeguards. Their job and responsibility is to, in every case possible, try and stop you or stop a child from doing something a little too risky or a little too crazy. And if things are getting a little too wild, to get involved and get people to slow down and trying to point out, hey, this is not safe, but if you wanted to go do something like this, here's where you can go do it, or here's what would be safe. We are, as part of a national franchise organization, we have a trademark safety program that involves training, retraining, reviewing sample videos of incidences that have happened either in our park or other parks. It's really an ongoing effort to try and make sure that our staff is aware of what is safe and what is not. But again, it's a two-way street. We definitely want to make sure people realize, you know, when you were 16 and you could do backflips on a trampoline and now you're 45, your body mass and center of balance is definitely a little different. So be aware.
Very nice that you focus on all that safety, and you talk about, you know, different age groups. So at 45, can you go out there? What age groups do you have out there? How far does it go?
Well, without question, most of the people that play in our park are kids, you know, aged to 5 to 16. But we have a Tots Time program that is in the mornings, Tuesdays and Fridays, and Saturday mornings. It's just for kids 6 and under. Parents they do accompany their children, but they don't jump at that time. We have a special program that is for tweens and teens on Friday nights, an all ages late night event on Saturday nights. This is definitely a place where everybody can play together. We even are about to launch adult dodgeball leagues, exercise classes for adults. So this really is a facility for everyone.
Very cool. And I know that you offer a lot of different things. It's not just kids' birthday parties, group outings, fundraisers, corporate events. Can you talk a little bit about that in the time we have?
Sure. We do a ton of large groups, like from MSCR, Madison Schools and Recs programs, after-school programs, summer camps. We offer discounts for those events and those larger groups. We've done a lot of fundraisers where we give back a certain percentage of the proceeds of the day's sales. And we have a number of corporate groups that have brought in their sales teams or teams to do dodgeball games against each other, or, management against the employees, things like that. So it's a great facility for all that.
Do the jump around over at Rock and Jump. So our thanks, I guess, to Aaron joining us today. Thank you very much. And we'll be back with more on Talk of the Town on CW57. And back on Talk of the Town, and talking now about a subject that I'm really bad at, but my wife is great at, as we bring in the Madison money guy, Christian Finfrock, to talk about having an advisor that you can trust. Christian, I'm bad at it. I guess that's kind of normal sometimes for men.
Yeah, quite frankly, I always tell people the women in our lives generally make the financial decisions, and if not, it's usually one spouse or the other. So, it really is important, though, to get on the same page with finances because, one of you will probably end up outliving the other one, and it's important that both of you are on the same page as far as understanding your finances.
I'm sure she'll outlive me. It's just at this point, for a lot of reasons. Talk about your firm a little bit, though. Describe your firm, if you could.
Yeah, we really work with the families that have really close to retirement. They're already in retirement, or they're 5 years or closer to retirement. They've kind of already accumulated their wealth, and they're really starting to think about, how do I shift into this income phase? So, it's a different approach than what got them here generally, just growing and accumulating the assets. And most of the families that come in and see us, they're really primarily focused at preserving what they already have. And then obviously you can take a preserved approach, but how do I turn that into a stream of income? And the single greatest fear in retirement today is outliving your money. And so we teach families how to, put diversified income streams together to hopefully, eliminate some of those big risks that you're going to face throughout retirement.
So if you have then like an ideal client, someone that's going to be, successful working with you, what does an ideal client usually look like?
We really focus the best on people that are very close to retirement. So I would say you're 55, maybe, getting into your 60s, you're really thinking about retirement if you're not already there. You've really accumulated this bucket of money, your 401k, maybe you've got some IRAs, perhaps you've got a collection of other stuff that you've accumulated throughout the years, and you're really starting to think, what's the next step for me? How do I turn this into income? We've been thinking our whole lives about growing the portfolio. So those are really our families. I would say maybe the millionaire next door, kind of families that have been really working really hard their whole lives, and they've really accumulated this good deal of money, and they need it to last. And $1 million today is so much less than it was before. And we certainly don't only work with millionaires. We work with the families that have, 300,000 and 400,000, but that's it. Folks that are looking for that next phase of their lives, and how do we, not only take the financial side of retirement, which is important, but we also want to talk a lot about your purpose. What are you going to do in retirement? What's going to give you the value and the feelings that you had when you were working? Because retirement's a lot more than just money.
So if everybody's looking at retirement and that's the kind of client that you're dealing with, is the strategy then kind of like a cookie cutter, one size fits all?
No.
Or how do you do it?
Yeah.
Do you make it an individual type thing?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we do what we would call customized financial planning. So the reality is all of our clients look very different when it comes to retirement planning. Because listen, we all have unique ideas and goals and what we want to accomplish in retirement. Not only that, we all have different income needs. And so, we believe in taking a very individualized approach to retirement and just taking really an educational kind of aspect to retirement and teaching them, the good news and the bad news with every investment strategies. But not only that, really going through the fine print and sort of the strings attached with everything and allowing them to make a decision on how we put together their plan. So it's absolutely not cookie cutter. It's very specialized. Now on the bigger scale, many of our clients do sort of start looking the same because they really are kind of thinking the same thing. Number one, don't lose my money. Number two, how do I get income that's going to last me, through retirement? And finally, if it's possible, grow the portfolio a little bit to leave some money behind for my kids.
Now, what kind of services do you offer then for the clients?
Yeah, well, we really focus on that income planning part of retirement. So again, generating dependable streams of income that can fight against the volatility, kind of the ups and downs in retirement. But we also do a lot of tax planning. So I'm not a CPA, I can't legally give tax advice, but I am an Ed Slott Elite IRA advisor, and that means that I focus and have a lot of education on tax planning and IRA distribution strategies. So we want to help folks protect against money just slipping through the cracks on their tax statement. Teaching them about more tax-efficient accounts, shifting money from maybe taxable to tax-deferred and even maybe tax-free if they qualify. But if they have those taxable accounts, putting tax-efficient investments in place to help them keep as much of their wealth as possible.
Wow, fascinating topic, a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
You know, I guess we could talk about it all day, but
Forever.
we're out of time
I
already.
appreciate it being here.
It goes that quickly. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
You could also catch Christian as well on the radio, right?
Yeah,
where
Madison
you
Money Guy, ESPN 100.5 every Saturday at 7 a.m. We talk about all these topics and more every Saturday morning.
Check them out. You'll get to hear more of them as you do that. And we'll be right back to more Talk of the Town right here on CW 57. And we are back, and we are talking dentistry, as February was Children's Dental Month. Is that right? I think that's how it goes. So I learned that a little bit earlier on, as we are joined now by Dr. Dylan Donnelly from Madison Family Dental Associates. Welcome on in, Doc.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. I want to talk first, before we talk teeth, let's talk about Madison Family Dental a little bit. You guys seem to be very involved with the community, and you got, you know, kind of a mantra. It's kind of built to be that way. What do you guys do in the community, and you know, what's that all about?
You know, we're involved in a lot of different ways. You know, as healthcare providers and as dentists, we're able to not only provide free services for the underserved population, but you know, we can get involved with volunteering or donating money also. You know, the one great thing about Madison is everyone's so involved. So really, we're just paying attention to what everyone else is doing, and we're just trying to do our part to make Madison the great place it is to live.
Very cool. One of the cool things that you do, I think, as well, is the Halloween candy trade-in. Now, talk a little bit about this, because my kids would have the hardest time trading in the actual candy. What do they learn by doing that?
Well, you know, we started the program probably 3 years ago, and our main goal was to educate both young patients and their parents about your oral health and how important it is to your overall health. So we came up with a concept to have the kids turn in all their extra Halloween candy for, you know, passes to local businesses that kind of promote an active lifestyle, you know, places where you go jump around or run around in circles or whatever. You know, it's been a really cool program for us. We've kind of seen it evolve. It gets bigger and bigger every year. We've even kind of figured out ways to get rid of the candy once we get it, because otherwise we eat it at the office. We don't actually do that. But now we're donating it to public schools, and they use it for competitions for like gingerbread houses and stuff like that. So every year it gets to be a little bit bigger and bigger, and we get to use our creativity to kind of make it more and more every year, and it's worked out pretty well.
Very nice. Speaking of getting bigger, you guys are getting bigger. You're not just in Madison anymore as you go into DeForest. Talk about some of the dentists that are over there.
Well, yeah, first off, very excited about our new DeForest location. Just opened up January 4th. It's been there for about 30 years. We did just take it over from the dentist that was previously there, so going to try to keep everything pretty much the same, and that goes for Dr. Eric Feierheisen, who's been there for about 15 years. And then we did bring in one new associate, Chelsea Nelson, who's been there for just a few months now, but yeah, very excited. Just excited to not only provide dental care out there, but again, be involved with the community.
Speaking of being in business for a number of years, I think you guys have been in business for 30 years. What's some of the history of your
30
place?
years, yeah, it's a long time. So Ron Schmidt and Don Failer opened Madison Family over 30 years ago. And one of the partners over there, Lori Veerman, is Ron Schmidt's daughter. So it has maintained the feeling of a family business, a family dental office, and hopefully we can kind of continue that down the road.
Now, you grew up in a family of dentists, is that right? So
I did. My dad's a dentist, and I still remember I wanted to be a dentist from the first second I thought about having a job, and I always said I'm just lucky to be able to kind of have that dream come true, because it is a great profession. I love working with people every day, and I love going to work.
I always thought people that wanted to be dentists were more like Steve Martin in Little Shop of Horrors or something, right?
Yeah, that's not a good basis to base dentistry off of, no.
So is that why you eventually wanted to be a partner then and be in the business?
It is. You know, when I wanted to come back to Madison. Love Madison. And when I came back, I applied at Madison Family, and they had such a long-standing presence in the community, and that's why I chose to start working there. I started to realize the long-standing patients that we have and the long-standing employees that we have, And that made me want to become more than just an associate, and then became a partner, several years ago.
Yeah, who are some of the employees, maybe some influences that you have there that inspire you?
You know, it's amazing. When we talk about volunteering and being involved in the community, it goes from people at the front desk to some of my partners. The great thing about our office is one person has something that's really close to their heart, and since we have such a great relationship between everyone kind of gets their back. So that's why we get so involved in all these things, because everyone kind of understands that certain things are important to certain people, and we kind of all just jump on.
Very interesting, very cool. Check them out, Madison Family Dental. Doc, thanks for being here today.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Yeah, and thank you all for tuning in to Talk of the Town. We'll see you next time right here on CW57.